Less stress, more time, more money. Welcome to the Cash Flow Contractor, short with Khalil bin Ali Haj.
What's up, Cash Flow Contractors? Khalil here with another short to help bring you less stress, more time, and more money. I'm excited to talk to you today about using software to become more efficient in your business. And I talked to a lot of contractors about setting up their software tech stack. And that is just the series of softwares that they use and the features that they need to be able to run their business more efficiently and to create value for their company by using software. And it's not a very easy thing to implement. It takes time, it takes a lot of detailed organization to be able to do it effectively. And so I want to go through some of the steps that we use so that you can be more efficient on your own when you're choosing software for your company. So the first thing that I want to mention is that, I've said this before, but software is not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve all your problems. And that's how it's marketed to you as a contractor. You're going to see ads from other software companies, and when you visit their website, they're going to speak directly to your pains. And that's good. They can solve those pains. But you may think that as soon as you click checkout and you start that onboarding process on the software, that all of your cares and stresses are going to go away, and that's just not the case. It's going to take work, and the reason why is because software and using software is more about behavior change than it is about features and integrations and being a solution for your company. It's really about habits. Are you using the software the way that it was designed to be used inside of your company? And if you're not, then it doesn't matter what features it has or what integrations it has or what problems it can solve. If you don't do the work yourself and you don't have the habit of doing it regularly, then you won't see your pain solved by the software. So just know that when you're going into software as an endeavor, it's going to take time. It's never going to happen overnight. Probably not even going to happen in a month or a given quarter, but it's going to take probably a year or more to really get invested and implemented inside that software. But the first thing that I like to talk to companies about is really getting into the mindset of we're going to find what works for us. We're not going to sit here and completely change our business model because this software promises a solution, but we're just going to figure out what works for us. And so the way that we do that is we create a timeline view of what their processes are from start to finish. So inside of your business as a contractor, that probably looks something like we get a referral who comes to our website and they call us, they fill out a form on our website, something along those lines. And then we ask a series of questions, then we schedule a meeting, then we go through that meeting and decide if it's a fit. And we go on to maybe going on to drawings or a design of some sort for the project. And then we come up with a proposal of some sort for them with a price. They decide if they want to move forward. If they do move forward, then we schedule the job out. We maybe have some sort of production on our end where we're ordering materials, maybe assembling something. And then we've got to go and do maybe demo or install. We've maybe got to hire subs for the job to help us out. And it just goes on and on and on, all the way until finally you've got that invoice paid, maybe a thank you note written to the customer. I mean, you can go as detailed as you want. But all the way from start to finish, from someone referred us or someone saw our ad or someone visited our website, whatever it is, all the way to we are done. We're not in any further communication with that client. You want to go through that and map out what that timeline looks like, right? And you want to have every detail listed out. What that's going to do is, one, if you haven't already done that in your business, it's going to be really clear for you where you need to develop systems. You're going to see really quickly where the inefficiencies are in your process so that you can now create systems that will help with those inefficiencies. Once you have your timeline in place with all of the functions that are happening throughout the entire process of working with a client or a customer, that's when you're going to be able to start to notice the handoffs that happen inside of your business. So there's a handoff between, okay, that was a marketing function where they were on our website filling out a form, and then it goes to the sales team. And now we're doing all of our sales functions. And going through that process, oh wait, now there's a handoff to our crew or the production side of things. And finally from there, then it's handed back off to sales because they're doing the billing, or somebody in-house that's doing the billing. And then once it's gone through the billing stage, then it's handed off to maybe customer success or back to that salesperson to just make sure everything's done, or a project manager. But you want to be able to recognize on that timeline where your handoffs occur, because that's going to identify what the core areas are inside of your business. And by core area, I mean marketing as a core area, sales as a core area, production as a core area, billing as a core area, customer success as a core area. And you can have more than that depending on what your process looks like. But once you have those core areas outlined, you're going to have the core area and all the list of functions that were on that timeline inside of that core area. You're going to be able to have all that list of functions, and that's going to help you decide on what software you actually need for your business, right? So now just think of each of those core areas and think about, man, what's really inefficient here? If you're looking at sales, it's really hard for us to book meetings, right? Or it's really inefficient how we're having to call the customer, see if they're available, asking them to come in, then double check with another sales rep to see if they're available during that time, whatever it might be. Maybe it'd be helpful to have a software that could help you with meetings. Maybe it's that your proposals are taking you forever. You're not able to collect signatures very easily. They have to come all the way to your shop, which is outside of town, and you just want to be able to do it through e-signatures. Well, that's another software feature that you might use. So just by looking at all of those functions that are happening inside of each area, now you're going to be able to say, okay, these are the features I need for this core area. And that's going to allow you to go and get software that will actually fit what you're currently doing, rather than just buying a software because they promise all the success in the world and trying to fit into their systems for what they offer as features. So I'm going to walk through that really quick one more time. You're going to create a timeline of what it's like to work with a customer from beginning to end and be very, very detailed on all the different steps. You can use those steps to create systems for your business if you don't already have systems. Then go and try to find where the handoffs occur on that timeline. That's going to help you to identify where the core areas are for your business. Then you should have a core area with all of its lists of functions, which are those details on the timeline for you. And you're going to use that to identify what software for that core area will help me be more efficient and fit into my existing systems that I have for my company. That's going to allow you, if you go one by one on those core areas, to really develop your software to fit the behaviors, the habits that you already have on your team in the best way possible. And you will have to adapt a little bit, but it's going to be really a small change rather than a massive change. And then you're going to be able to go one by one of those core areas in implementing software. Ideally, you want to have software that fits the entire timeline, right? And for a lot of business owners, they think, man, I can just find one solution that'll do all of that. And you absolutely can, but I want to just remind you, beware of that silver bullet, but also beware of the one size fits all method for software, because you are probably missing out on features, but you're also probably working with a company. I'll explain what this happens really quick. There's a company out there that can't find a software solution out there. And so they go and they develop their own software and they fit it to their business model, and it covers every single area from marketing to sales to customer service to production to hiring and firing. I mean, everything is on there, right? And they then say, wait, we can go and sell this to other companies like us. And so they've developed this software that's really custom to their business, and they hired a third-party developer in a third world country to do this for them, and they have it. Now they go and they start selling it to other people, but they don't invest the time into actually making that product better so that the software works efficiently. And everything in the side of the software is set up for their business specifically, not for the industry in general. And so now you get stuck with limited features, with really poor support, and a stagnant product that's not being improved upon over time. So there are software companies that do it all, right? But you're probably paying a heavy price for that software because it does so much for your business. And it's unlikely that you're going to actually go and implement all of these things inside of every area of your business all at once. And so by going core area by core area, it's going to make it easier for you to really just focus on that core area. Hey, I'm focused on marketing right now. Really want to make sure everything's working as smooth as possible. And it gives you kind of a finite area that you can focus on, rather than, oh, wow, I've got to implement this across every area of my company right now. it's not a very tangible thing, especially if you're the one doing it as a business owner and you haven't hired somebody else. Last thing that I'll say is as you're looking at software for each of these areas, you want to figure out how you can make them integrate. And some integrations are more valuable than others. In my opinion, the sales to marketing integration is way more important than a sales to production integration, because you can handle everything on the marketing to sales side really cohesively, which will make your marketing better, which will make your sales better. But the handoff from sales to production can really just be manual unless you're doing dozens and dozens of jobs a month. Then it probably does need to be something that is automated at some point. But then once you get inside production, you want all those things to work together really well. And there's maybe different areas of production that are happening. You might have multiple steps there. And so it might be multiple softwares for each of those. But you don't necessarily need those to integrate with your marketing or even with your hiring software or with your billing software all the time. And so having integrations matters, but there are some integrations that are more valuable than others. And you'll have to see that in your business. A way to identify that is just look at, hey, how often are these teams that are inside my company or these employees that are inside my company working together and collaborating? If your marketing is never really working with your production, you really don't need an integration there. But if your sales is constantly on the phone with people on production, then you probably need some sort of integration there. And a solution is also just creating an account for that salesperson on the production side so they can jump into that software in the short term rather than having that integration. So I've covered quite a bit of things here, but really tried to focus on how you can develop a plan for introducing software into your company so that you can be more efficient. If you have questions about any of this, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment on YouTube, reach out to us through the show notes and send us an email. Or if you want to implement software into your company and you have no intention of going through this process yourself and you do want to do it with someone like us, we do this at Benali, and I'm happy to schedule a call with you. Just go to our website, book a strategy call. We'll learn what your challenges are. We'll talk about what goals you have for your company, and then we'll see what we can do to help you along the way to reaching those goals and avoiding those challenges. So thanks for your time. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you're having less stress, more time, and more money in your business. And thanks for listening to The Cash Flow Contractor.
Thanks for listening to The Cash Flow Contractor. Check out our website in the show notes or visit thecashflowcontractor.com.